IVM.
You are the most valuable investment you will ever make. Hi, I'm Zarina Poonawalla, your leadership coach, life coach, and emotional intelligence coach. You probably know me from the Empowering series, and this is my new show, the Life Manifesto with Zarina Poonawalla. I'm going to coach you to be the best version of yourselves. So get ready to create, attain, and manifest the life you've always desired and make it your reality. Hello and welcome to the Life Manifesto with me, Zarina. Happy New Year, my precious people. I really hope that you've brought in this new year with a lot of goodness and a lot of positivity. And here is wishing you a year of fuller health, lesser viruses, more peace, less stress, where you have abundance, not scarce. That's my little blessing for you, and I really hope it turns out to be true. Now, as I was bringing in the new year, I have this little ritual, and I wondered why I haven't discussed this on any of my episodes as yet. So I have this ritual in the last few days of December, probably the second last week. I commit and dedicate myself to a very important yet very exhausting task. That's right, decluttering and cleaning. I know that maybe December is not the time to do it. Most Indian families, we do this in Diwali, but I do feel that it's got a really nice psychological ring to the fact that you do it at the end of the year. So it's basically a ritual I follow. And for me, it's basically towards the end of the year, figuratively, and sometimes literally too, I like to keep a good practice of letting go. And we all know how hard letting go of things and items and situations are, right? But when I let it go, whatever it is, something or anything, I just feel like I'm making place for something new. So, if you haven't got into decluttering all that mess around you since a while, I'm telling you, it's a splendid feeling and I want you to experience it. I really do. Right at the beginning of 2022. So no resolutions, no false promises, just a simple way of cleansing and decluttering your spaces mentally, physically, and emotionally. Because as Catherine Ponder quotes, nature does abhor a vacuum, and when you begin moving out of your life what you do not want, you automatically are making way for what you do want. How beautiful is that? When you start moving out of your life what you do not want, you're making way for what you do want. So, let's create a space where we can welcome more, welcome new, more wanted and much needed thoughts and things. Here are a few techniques that you can try that I have already tried and tested and pretty much so done all the work for you. So I just know that it works. All you have to do is give it a shot. Okay? The very first rule is to dedicate and commit. That is the key. Dedicate and commit to this action of decluttering until completion. Okay, if you do not want to commit to this action, you will simply mess up your space furthermore because you'll just pull things out, but you won't end up clearing it up. Okay, so that is important for you. The first rule is to dedicate and commit until completion. If you can't do that, do not pull stuff out. The next thing you do is decide what you want to declutter. Right? A simple space to start with is great. Usually people focus on their wardrobes or closets, which is fine. But ironically, that's the place you focus on and that's always the place that's messed up. So, you might want to either start with a space or a kind or an area. Meaning, either your wardrobe or let's say you want to declutter or get rid of some old shoes or belts. So find shoes and belts all over your house, wherever. In your storage, in the doorway, in the cupboard, wherever it is. Find all the shoes and belts, get them out and then focus on deep cleaning just that one particular kind. or area, which means you can decide to clean your kitchen, your doorway, your living room, your bedroom, and just go with a specific location. All right? Okay, now that you've got that, let's talk about a simple way to declutter objects and material items. What I usually do is make 4 boxes. Most commonly, it's divided into 3, but I'm going to suggest 4 here. The first one is the keep it box. So this one is for all the things that make you more efficient, okay? Is it just a prop in your house? Are you using it? If you're using it, it's adding efficiency to you, productivity to you. Is it adding to your ecosystem in any way? Helping you keep up, helping you be better at what you do, whatever it is. Helping you feel better, be better. If it is an item that helps you, it's useful to you, it makes you more efficient, it's worthy of keeping, and it's valuable, then keep it. The second box is the give it box. These items are things that you do not use anymore. They are no more purposeful for you, but they can be used by somebody else, right? So they are unexpired items. It could be items in your fridge. It could be clothes that you are not using anymore, or you are not of the same size anymore. It could be anything that you can give away and it can be useful to somebody else. So in a way, it's an item which is recyclable, reusable, and is no longer purposeful for you. What do you do then? You put it in the give it box. Then you come to the throw it box. Obviously, things that have passed their expiry date, they're rugged, they're shabby, you don't like it anymore, it's not worth giving to somebody else. What you do with those things is throw it away. And then the fourth one is the sell it box. So let's say you have furniture, bridal outfits, or branded items in mint condition, and you feel that they hold value and worth and you could make something out of it. Why not? So go ahead, sell it on one of those e-commerce stores and sites where you can buy and sell items, not for any other reason, but simply because if you have spent a good amount of money or made an investment towards something like, a very antique, a curio, or a little piece, a statement piece in your living room, and you think it's time for a new one, then sell it off, right? That's the reason why I have put the fourth box as the sell it box here. As a rule for myself, I personally do this. I follow a 1:2 ratio. Now, this is my key to keeping clutter out of my life. That's how I keep myself clutter-free. Every time I add one thing to my wardrobe, I remove 2. I just make sure that I'm removing 2. All right. And that's how I keep this 1:2 ratio as a rule for myself, so that I can keep decluttering from time to time. Why? Because our spaces are restricted. Your house size won't change depending on the items that you have in them. Your wardrobe is not going to change overnight because you have plenty of items in them. So you see, the sizes of what we have, our storage, is the same, and it becomes really troublesome to then remove everything one fine day and clear it out. So that's why I prefer just going by the 1:2 ratio. Now, if you find yourself confused, you may want to try this step from Marie Kondo's KonMari method for decluttering. The KonMari method is very interesting, all right? When trying to get rid of items, if you are confused about letting go, so what you do then is you hold the item in your hands. You hold the item in your hands. That's what Marie Kondo says. She says, hold the item and see if it sparks joy physically. Like when you hold this old item, a very old soft toy probably that's been lying at home. But when you hold it, how do you feel? Do you feel like it sparks joy? Do you feel like it still makes you smile? It still gives you a little flutter or a little happiness? If it sparks joy, and it sparks joy physically, keep it, right? Does it make you happy in a way that you just turn brighter and better and you're smiling, you're excited? Do you find it beautiful even now? And does it hold value to you? If it does, you can try the KonMari method, okay? Now, there are also prized precious possessions, items, we have that we hold on to because it's got meaning in your life. You just value its memories, the smell, the touch, the feel. It brings back precious moments. So sometimes the KonMari method is helpful to understand what you really, really find precious Because with time, people change, and sometimes what used to be precious isn't anymore. So you need to figure that out, okay? And yes, if you have prized precious possessions, a watch from your grandmom or a hat from your grandfather or any such, a little notebook or a diary from, your mom or your dad or somebody very close and very important to you, by all means, keep it. Keep it. I really feel you mustn't part with your prized, precious possessions, but then that's a personal choice. And if you get stuck here, use the KonMari method. Now, there's another very interesting method I recently read about, and it blew my mind. The book is written by Margareta Magnusson, and it's called The Gentle Art of Swedish Death Cleaning. That's right, death cleaning. The book is not about death, so don't get gloomy. It's a very introspective and mindful way of cleaning. It basically means to clean up your clutter before you die, so you don't leave behind a clutter full of boxes and storage units that your family is left to deal with after you. This can be very exhausting to clean after you, and that's the reason why the Swedish have started to believe in death cleaning, the gentle art of death cleaning. It's a way of Swedish life now, and this book has taken Sweden by storm, to be honest. While decluttering and cleaning, they ask themselves, will my family want or value this after I die? If not, I give it away, I throw it away. That's a very spiritual way of cleaning, don't you think? I mean, it's basically a book written for people over, let's say, 60s. So let's say it's for senior citizens in a way, so that, if you know that it's going to be time, you plan for it. You make sure that you're leaving your family's clutter-free. I think it's beautiful. So people are then better equipped for death-related decisions. Now, don't be surprised. I want to share a little nugget with you here. Swedish people, they actually pay funeral tax in order to make sure that they have the kind of funeral services that they want. And it's also looked after by the government. So death cleaning totally makes sense to them. They're very well prepared for death. They have conversations about it. They pay taxes for their funerals. So they really understand the concept. Now, I've talked about the KonMari method. I've talked about the Swedish death cleaning method. I've given you the 1:2 ratio and the other options in front of you. After all this, guys, if none of it still makes sense to you and it doesn't drive you to get that clutter organized, let me quickly tell you the benefits of decluttering that may just change your mind. It elevates your mood. It gives you a sense of completion. A dedicated decluttering session makes you more clear-headed from the action itself, and it leaves you fulfilled and energized. It sort of helps you springboard into a focused, actionable space and allows you to be more efficient. Even if the efficiency level is just short-lived, it's for a little while, it's okay, but it does give you that feeling. And you know what the icing on the cake here is? Most certainly, above all, it does benefit you in 4 ways, 4 very underlying subconscious ways. It's got this underlayered mind cleansing and a regenerative experience for you, because it helps you to be stronger decision makers, relieve stress, reduces anxiety, and it brings you a sense of freedom to your mindset as you learn the art of letting go. And as you let go, it also symbolizes closure to undone and unsaid things, people, situations, consequences, circumstances, both literally and figuratively. What more do you want? Now, go clean up your mess, feel that sense of freedom as I speak with you today, and trust me, not only will you rejoice, but you'll also start your year more clear-headed, more ready, and more empty to welcome new tidings. Wishing you a joyous, healthy year ahead. And don't forget, do what you love and do it often. And if you do not like something, go ahead and change it. The power is within you. Thank you for tuning in to the Life Manifesto with me, Zarina. If you find the show useful, then please share it with your friends, family, and co-workers. You never know. You may just help someone become the best version of themselves. And if you want to align your life with some signature masterclasses, certification courses, and live sessions with me, go check out and download my app, Life Manifesto with Zarina Poonawalla. Available on Play Store or Apple Store. And if you have any suggestions or anything that you would like to share with me, get in touch with me on my social media handles. I am at Zarina Poonawalla on Instagram and LinkedIn, and at Zarina Speaks on Twitter. See you in the next episode.
Hey, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On this year-end special of Think Fast, Varun and Suchita give their predictions on what lies ahead for the world of business and startups in 2022. We have Manjima Chatterjee with us on Audio Gyan. She is a drama explorer and educator. Kedar and Manjima talk about the new education policy, Bengali plays, and a whole lot more. On a Cock and Bull episode of Cyrus Says, Antrish and I join Cyrus to discuss New Year resolutions, no restaurant food for cops, and COVID self-tests. On All Things Policy, the Takshashila folk discuss major events and trends in the tech policy space and their expectations for 2022. On Simplified, the gang looks back at how the last 12 months have passed for them personally. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. If you're enjoying this show or any of our other shows for that matter, do tell a friend. The word of mouth absolutely is essential to us. Don't forget to rate us on any of the platforms that you've been listening to. And also, I'd like to ask everybody to check us out on YouTube. We have a number of channels going. You can find all of them on ivmpodcast.com/YouTube. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Cred, Bank of Baroda, CoinSwitch, Kuber, and Intel. Thank you so much for making this possible.
Are you looking for finance products and services that can enhance your personal finance experience? Are you looking for a space to talk about your financial product or service? And are you looking for a crisp talk show where the conversation is all about money? Well, your search ends here. Hi, my name is Anupam Gupta and I'm host of the Paisa Vaisa podcast, and I invite you for the conversation about your personal finance on each Monday on the IVM Podcast app or the website or on any podcast streaming platforms. See you folks.